Welcome to this heart opening sequence. We'll start in a heart opener using blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use a blanket and roll it up into a little cylindrical roll and place it underneath the shoulder blades. Otherwise, stack one block on the tallest height and the other block closer to the tailbone on the medium height. And start to lay down, placing the back of the shoulder blades rib cage onto the low block. And then place the highest block underneath the back of the head, and it should feel pretty comfortable. You can open the arms out to the sides, palms face up to expand through the upper chest. And here I have my feet together and my knees wide, but you can also take the feet wider and let the knees knock in towards one another, or you can let the feet extend long out in front of you. So just choosing a shape here that feels good for the body. Take several breaths here. If you feel like you can start to go deeper, you'll lower the block underneath the head to the medium height or to the lowest height or no block at all, but continuing to breathe deep into the chest and only going to a point where you can breathe smooth and steady in through the nose and out through the nose. Allowing the eyes to be closed, letting the body be heavy, and letting the legs get completely relaxed wherever they are. Continuing to breathe deep in through the nose, filling the lungs, chest expands, opening up across the chest. And as you exhale, feeling the body get heavy back down onto the blocks, onto the mat. Watching the rise and the fall of the chest, feeling the heart expand upward towards ceiling, broadening across collarbones. And as you continue with this rhythmic breath, filling the breath all the way into the low belly where the navel is. And as you exhale, let it go out of the mouth. Taking a few rounds like this, in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you exhale, releasing any held tension. Now returning to exhale through the nose, and keeping the breath moving in and out, watching the rise and fall of the chest for a couple more rounds of breath. And now think about how you are to come out. Draw chin in towards chest slowly. Start to ripple the back body up off of the blocks. Press down into the forearms, lifting the rest of the body up and setting the blocks off to the side at the top of your mat. Slowly lower back down onto your back body. Resting there just for a moment, feeling the back body expand all the way down onto the mat. Feeling the upper back lengthen. Maybe a slight chin in towards chest to lengthen out the back of the neck. And taking a few rounds of a moving bridge pose as you inhale, lifting hips, reaching the arms up and overhead, tops of the hands come down. And as you exhale, slowly bringing the hips down, palms come down by sides of hips. Inhale, breath, reaching hips up, pressing down through the heels, tailbone lengthens towards backs of the knees. And exhale, slowly lowering all the way back down. Taking another round, inhale, breath, reaching hips up, arms come up and overhead. And exhale, slowly lowering hands with hips back down. One more round, inhale, pressing down through the feet, reaching hips up. And exhale, lowering hips, keeping the navel drawing in towards spine, lowering down. Then pressing down into the feet, lifting the hips up, knees are over ankles. Option to interlace hands underneath the back. Pinky side of the hand presses down, shoulder heads roll underneath the body, then lifting up through the chest, keeping the chin in towards the chest as well. Guiding tailbone towards the backs of the knees as you breathe here. Continue to press down into the feet, down into the outer edges of the hands as you lift the hips and heart up. Take another inhale breath. Now as you exhale, release the hands, lower the hips back down, lengthening the spine onto the mat. Then grabbing behind the hamstrings, rocking and rolling a few times along the length of the spine. Then crossing at the shins, coming over into tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, breath, reaching heart forward, tailbone up. Exhale, breath, rounding the back, chin in towards chest. Inhale for cow pose, tailbone lifts, open heart. Exhale, rounding the back, pressing down into the hands, reaching the shoulder blades up. Continuing here with this motion, going as slow as you are inhaling for the back bend. And as you exhale, completely rounding the back, pressing shoulder blades up towards ceiling. You can add any extra movement here. I take side to side movements with the hips. I'll roll my rib cage in circles. I'll even come high onto the fingertips as I come into cat pose, as I round my back, really drawing the chin in towards the chest. Continuing to flow with your breath. Now plant the hands slightly forward, bend elbows, lower all the way down. Lengthen out legs behind you. Bring hands by the low ribs and inhale for low cobra, contracting the back body muscles to lift the chest up. Kneecaps are lifted, tops of the feet plant down, all 10 toes touching the mat, keeping elbows hugging in, breathing here. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Interlace hands behind back or stay with round one with the hands by the low ribs. As you inhale, reach the chest up. Crown of the head lengthens away from the feet. The feet can lift here. Then keeping the tailbone drawing towards the backs of the legs, the heels. And slowly on an exhale, lower back down. Releasing the hands by the low ribs again. Coming back through tabletop. Then curling the toes under. Making your way into downward facing dog. Spread through all 10 fingers and press the hips up and back. The feet can be wider than hip distance to start. The knees can be slightly bent. More importantly, lengthening the spine, reaching the hips away from the wrist, taking the gravity out of the hands. And then externally rotating the bicep towards the tricep as you release the head down. And breathing here. Starting to straighten the legs any amount. Bringing the feet together, inhale, right leg high to sky, pressing back through the heel, and opening up the hip, stacking right hip on top of left, and then drawing the right shoulder back down towards the ground, keeping the shoulders square. On an inhale breath, re-extend the leg up and back, and slowly set the right foot to meet the left. Other side, inhale, left leg high. Then start to turn the toes out to stack left hip on top of right, bending left knee, and then drawing that left shoulder back down towards the ground. Letting the right heel sink back down towards the mat. Inhale, return leg back up, and as you exhale, setting the foot slowly back down next to the right foot. Bring the feet hip distance apart. Inhale, ripple forward, shoulders over wrists, plank pose, pressing back through the heels. As you exhale, slightly bend the knees, come back into downward facing dog, straighten the legs. Inhale for plank pose, rippling forward, opening up through the chest. And exhale, downward facing dog, pressing the hips up and back. On your next inhale, ripple forward, staying strong in the legs. Arms firm in towards center midline, pressing down into the hands. Take another inhale breath. And as you exhale, shift forward onto the toes, lower down halfway chaturanga. Shoulders don't come below the elbows, opening up across the chest still. Crown of the head lengthens forward. Then pressing back up, high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beginning to walk the feet forward slowly to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, belly button in towards spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift again. Crown of the head lengthens away from tailbone, sit bones lift. And exhale, folding forward. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Collarbones broaden. Exhale, keeping that length and folding forward. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up overhead, planting down into the feet. And exhale, hands through heart center. Surya, Namaskar, A. Standing in Tadasana. Inhale, bring the arms up and overhead. Exhale, folding forward, Utkatasana. On your inhale, lifting halfway, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bending knees, planting hands, step back, high plank. As you continue to exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhale, coming back, downward facing dog. And taking a couple breaths here. On your inhale, gaze forward, bending knees, walking, stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen out, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, folding Uttanasana. Inhale, circle and rise, arms come up overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center. Arms release down. Inhale, bring the arms up and overhead, lengthening tailbone as you start to arch back, lifting from the thoracic spine. Heart reaches up, opening up across the chest, arms expand out. Inhale back through center and exhale, folding forward. Going slow, releasing head and neck down. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, bending knees, stepping back, high plank, lowering down. Continue to exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, rolling shoulder heads back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Inhale, gaze forward, bending knees. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen out, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center. Release hands down. Inhale, arms sweep up. Option to back bend again, lifting from the heart and rolling the inner thighs slightly back behind you to expand the low back. Inhale back through center, exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, planting hands, stepping back, high plank. As you continue to exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, breath. Gaze forward, inhale, bending knees. Walking, stepping, hopping to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen out halfway. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, back bend, reaching the heart up, pressing the hips slightly forward. As I inhale, I start to come up and then bend my knees, circle the arms forward and up, Utkatasana chair pose, sinking the hips back. Exhale, folding, straightening the legs. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, bending knees, stepping back, high plank, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping the right foot forward and coming into Crescent Lunge. Inhale, rise. Front knee over front ankle, lengthening through the back heel. Reaching up through the fingers, relaxing the shoulders, and then starting to arch back, lifting the heart, goalpost arms, elbows come out to the sides. And I release the arms down. Right hand places on back left thigh, reaching left arm up, extending. And as you exhale, bringing hands next to either side of the front foot, stepping back, vinyasa, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, bringing left foot forward in between the hands. Inhale to rise, Crescent Lunge. Bending into front knee, releasing the back heel towards the back of the mat, straightening leg. Then starting to arch back, lifting from the upper spine, the heart lifts, lengthening tailbone down. Sweeping arms down, left hand comes to back right leg, reaching right arm up, stretching through the right fingertips. Exhale, bringing hands down, stepping back, vinyasa. Kneading in downward facing dog. From down dog, take an inhale breath in through the nose. And open the mouth, exhale. Inhale, gaze forward, bending the knees. Walking, stepping, hopping to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale to fold. Utkatasana chair pose, sinking the hips, lifting the heart. And planting down into the feet, slight back bend as an option, opening up across the chest, lifting the heart up. And coming back up through center, chair pose again. Exhale, folding forward, planting hands down, lowering head. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Bending the knees, either jumping back with bent elbows or stepping back, lowering down. And coming into up dog, then down dog. Bringing right foot forward to right hand back, heel seals down. Inhale, warrior one. Right hip guides back as left hip rolls forward, reaching through the arms. Take one more inhale breath. And as you exhale, lower hands down, step back, vinyasa, lowering down half plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, down dog. Bringing left foot forward in between the hands, back heel seals down, warrior one. Opening up, left hip guides back, right hip rotates forward. Another breath in. Exhale, start to lower hands down. Step back to a vinyasa, lowering down half plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, down dog. Reaching hips up and back, letting the heels sink down. Take a deep inhale, breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Inhale, gaze forward, bending knees. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. Utkatasana, chair pose, sinking hips down. Then coming to stand, inhale, arch back, opening up across the chest, lifting the heart up. Then coming back through center, hands at heart center, folding forward slowly all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bending knees, stepping back or jumping back, keeping elbows bent. Inhale, upward dog, pressing down into the hands. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot comes forward, back heel seals down. Inhale, warrior one. Start to arch back as an option, opening up across the chest, elbows bent. Then interlacing hands behind back, humble warrior, right shoulder to right inner thigh, hugging the right outer hip in as you press down through the outer edge of the left foot, dropping the head and neck down, reaching fingers overhead. If it's comfortable, you can bring the palms together. On your next inhale breath, slowly rise up, reaching the arms up overhead, and exhale, bringing hands down, stepping back, vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. From down dog, bringing left foot forward in between the hands, back heel seals down. Inhale, warrior one. Starting to arch back, opening cactus arms. And as you continue to come up, humble warrior, interlacing the opposite way, reaching knuckles overhead, left shoulder comes to left inner thigh, knee hugs in, outer hip hugging in as well, dropping head and neck. Your next inhale breath, press down into the feet, navel hugs in, slowly rise back up, releasing the grip, reaching the arms up overhead. Then exhale, hands down, step back, vinyasa or downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, right leg high to sky, pressing back through the heel toes down, opening up the hip, stacking right hip on top of left, bending the knee. And coming into wild thing, flipping your dog, if that's comfortable and in your practice, you can press down through the left outer edge of the foot, reaching the heart up, slowly returning and reaching the leg up and back. Knee in towards chest, setting the foot down, warrior two, open up. Opening up across the chest, reaching the arms in opposite directions, front knee over front ankle, reverse warrior, inhale breath. As you exhale, extended side angle pose, using a block or bringing fingertips or hand down to the floor on the inside of the leg. Opening up the right inner thigh as you hug the outer hip in, and then reaching the left arm overhead, pinky side of the hand facing down, revolving the chest open. Creating length in the right side waist as you lift the left inner thigh slightly away from the ground and press into the outer edge of the foot. Drawing the right shoulder gently away from the ear. And slowly come back up. Reverse your warrior, flip your front palm. Exhale, windmill hands down. Step back, vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, left leg high to sky. Open up the hip, stacking left on top of right, bending the knee. And coming into wild thing as an option, placing left foot down, reaching the heart up, pressing down into the right hand. And slowly coming back through center, lifting that left leg up and back, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, bring it through in between the hands. Ground back, heel down for warrior two, open up as you inhale. Reaching through the fingers, front knee is in line with the second toe, expanding through the chest, shoulders relaxed down. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior, back hand to back leg. As you exhale, extended side angle pose, modified, hand on the inside of the leg as you open up the inner thigh, outer hip hugs in. And then the right fingertips releasing forward towards the front of the room, guiding the right shoulder away from the ear. And again, lengthening the left side chest by reaching the right inner thigh slightly away from the mat, outer edge of right foot pressing down into the ground, revolving the chest open, breathing. And your inhale, planting down into the feet, reverse warrior. As you exhale, windmilling hands down, stepping back, high plank, lowering through vinyasa, kneading in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high to sky. Exhale, bring it through in between the hands. Back heel seals down. Warrior two, inhale, rise. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Stretching the right side, body reaching through the fingers. This time bringing the hand on the outside of the right leg, extended side angle pose. And bringing the right fingertips about a foot in front of the right pinky toe, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Stacking left hip on top of right, opening up across the chest, then expanding the left arm up towards the ceiling, reaching through the left heel, maybe grabbing the back foot, left foot comes into the hand, kicking the chest open. And slowly releasing the foot back out into half moon, bending front leg, reaching left foot back, coming slowly into warrior two, open up. As you exhale, bring hands down, continue to lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg high to sky. Exhale, bring it through in between the hands, back heel grounds down, warrior two, inhale, rise. Spreading through the fingertips and flipping the front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, hand on the outside to blocker floor, extended side angle pose, opening up the chest. Right hand to hip, gazing down, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Stacking right hip on top of left, opening up the chest, stacking right shoulder on top of left, maybe reaching arm up, pressing back through the right heel. Option to take the back bend in Shavasana, grabbing for the right foot with the right hand, kicking the foot into the hand and opening up the chest. Releasing foot, bending left knee and setting the right foot back into warrior two, releasing the arms out. And exhale, bringing the hands down, stepping back, chaturanga, lower down, exhale, inhale, up dog, rolling shoulder heads back, and exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, right leg height to sky, reaching it up and back. And as you exhale, bringing it through in between the hands, back knee drops down, toes uncurl. Inhale, low lunge. Sinking into the front knee, letting the pelvis descend. Continue to breathe here, releasing the shoulders down, lengthening through the upper back body. And bring hands down. And plant the left palm down as you reach back with the right hand for the left foot. Then kicking the foot into the hand to open up the chest and rolling the right inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Spreading through the fine fingers on the left hand and revolving bicep towards outer tricep. Very carefully releasing the foot, letting it come down onto the mat. Right hand comes down on inside of the right thigh. And then bringing the left leg up away from the mat, curling the toes under, coming into lizard lunge. You can keep the back knee down and you can keep the palms down on the ground. But lower down to the forearms if you feel comfortable, but keeping the right foot down onto the ground, keeping the knee hugging in towards right shoulder, outer hip hugging in towards center, keeping the back leg really active. Coming back onto the hands, twist, right arm up towards ceiling, stacking on top of left shoulder. Bringing hands down, stepping back, vinyasa. From down dog, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bring it through in between the hands. Back knee drops down, uncurl toes, low lunge. Bring the hands down, and then keep the right hand planted as you reach back with the left hand for the right foot. Kicking the foot into the hand as you open up the chest and draw the left inner shoulder to outer shoulder, expanding through the upper chest. Release the foot back down, bring the arms on the inside of the left leg, curl back toes under, lift right knee. Hug left knee towards left shoulder, and then bring the forearms down or hands down to blocks, wherever you did on the other side. Starting to lengthen out through the right heel as you wheel the heart forward, breathing here, keeping the left foot down onto the mat. Coming back onto the palms, twist, left arm down, right arm reaches up, revolving the chest open, keeping the left hip hugging in, bringing the hands down, stepping back, vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Gaze forward, bending the knees, walk, step, or jump through to a seat. And coming onto the sit bones, lifting the shins into Navasana pose, shins parallel with the ground, feet flex back, reaching the back body into the front body to lift the chest, maybe expanding the legs long, keeping the legs really active, opening up across the heart. As you inhale, slowly lowering down into half boat Ardha Navasana, keeping the shoulder blades lifted and lengthening through the feet, keeping the legs really active. Breathing. And lowering all the way down onto your back, letting the arms and legs release. Taking a deep breath in through the chest. And open the mouth, exhale. In towards the sit bones, knees up. As you inhale, press down into the feet, lifting the hips up. Reaching the heart up, bridge pose, lengthening the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. Continuing to breathe. As you exhale, lower down. And setting up for wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana, or you can take bridge pose again. Bring hands by the ears, fingers face towards the feet. And as you inhale, pressing up, reaching the heart back away from the knees, and lengthening the tailbone towards the backs of the knees as well. Feet are parallel to one another and revolving the armpits towards the face as you spin the biceps towards the triceps. And when you're ready, slowly lowering all the way back down, chin in towards chest. Resting here for a moment, keeping the knees and feet exactly where they are. Taking a full breath. And preparing for your second round of either wheel or continuing with bridge pose. On your inhale, pressing up and continuing with the same actions, lengthening the low back and bending from the upper thoracic spine, maybe starting to straighten the legs and arms as you reach the heart towards the back of the room. You can play around here with bending the legs, lengthening, but continuing to breathe smooth and steady in through the nose. Keeping the tailbone lengthening towards the backs of the knees or the heels. When you're ready, slowly lowering all the way down, chin in towards chest. Resting here. And hugging the knees in, rocking side to side, releasing the low back, maybe taking circles with the knees. And rocking up to a seat, lengthening the legs out, sitting upright. Coming into Dandasana staff pose, hands by the hips, reaching the crown of the head up. Then inhale, arms come up overhead. As you exhale, hinging from the hips, reaching forward, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Hands don't have to touch the toes, they can touch the shins or come long by the sides of the feet. But working on reaching the heart forward towards the feet, belly button comes down towards the upper thighs, and then letting the head and neck relax down. Continuing with your breath here. Every inhale, gaining a little bit more length in the spine, and every exhale, surrendering a little bit deeper, releasing tension. Next, inhale breath, slowly start to rise back up, walking the hands back in. And then releasing your body all the way down onto the mat, hugging knees in towards chest, and taking a couple rocks side to side. Hugging right knee in towards right outer rib cage, lengthening the left leg forward, left toes flexed. And hugging the right knee maybe a little bit deeper as you exhale. And starting to twist, right arm comes out, knee comes over to the left side, and shifting the left hips over to the right to stack the hips. Then redrawing that right shoulder back down onto the ground as you expand through the upper chest and gazing over towards the right hand. Breathing into the right side rib cage and lengthening the right hip away from the right shoulder. On an inhale breath, slowly rise back through center, hugging both knees in and switching sides. The left knee will stay in as the right leg extends long, setting the heel down, toes lift up back towards shin, and hugging the left knee towards the left outer rib cage. Expanding left arm out to the side, guiding the knee over to the right and shifting the right hip over towards the left side so the hips stack, then grounding the left shoulder down into the mat, spreading across the collarbones, gazing over to left thumb. Continuing to breathe here in through the side chest, ribs, belly. Lengthening left hip away from left shoulder. Your next inhale, guide the knee back through center. Hug knees in and take the knees wide for happy baby. Reach on the insides of the legs for the outside edges of the feet. Lengthen the tailbone down, and the chin is parallel with the forehead as you lengthen out the back of the neck. Now, continue to breathe here, and as you exhale, maybe drawing the knees slightly closer towards the mat, keeping the ankles stacked on top of the knees. And breathing, continue in through the nose, out through the nose. Release the hands from the feet, bring knees back in towards chest. Take a deep inhale breath and curl up into a tiny ball, forehead towards the knees, lifting the shoulder blades off of the ground. And as you exhale, expand out all the way, lengthening the legs forward, arms rest out to the sides for Shavasana. Letting the inner thighs open up, letting the palms face open, chest rolls open. And take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth side out. One more deep inhale breath. Then exhale, open the mouth, releasing the air. Letting the breath return back to normal. Letting the body get extremely heavy. Allowing the blood to circulate. The body rest, lengthen back out. And staying here for several moments as we let the body rest, allowing the eyes to be closed, letting any tension release from the hips, the shoulders, the face, the belly. And staying here, Shavasana. Your next inhale becomes deeper, filling the chest, the belly. And exhale, releasing. And bringing back subtle movement into the body, wiggling fingers, toes. And roll ankles and wrists. And then on an inhale breath, stretching the arms long overhead, away from the feet. Guiding the knees in towards center and rolling off to your right side, resting on the right arm. And staying there for a moment, keeping the eyes closed. And when you're ready, pressing up to a seat facing forward, gently crossing up the legs. Sitting upright, stacking shoulders over hips, letting the arms rest on top of the thighs. Just taking notice of how the body feels, how the mind feels. And take a deep inhale breath. Open the mouth, exhale. Bring hands in towards heart center, chin bows down in gratitude for the practice. Thank yourself for taking time out of your day to open up your body and create some energy in the heart center. Hopefully you leave your mat feeling energized, refreshed, and full of love. Thank you for letting me guide your practice. Namaste. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.